A suburban house basks in the glow of a sunny morning. Charlie and Emma explode from the front door, their laughter filling the air. Mom and Dad stand on the porch, waving as their children play. The kitchen awakens with a gentle touch of sunlight, promising a bright start to the day. Mom orchestrates a symphony of sizzling sounds at the stove, her movements as fluid and familiar as a well-loved melody. Dad sits absorbed in the morning's news, the world's stories, unfolding before him as he savors his coffee. Charlie and Emma explode into the kitchen, their faces radiant with the boundless joy of a new day. Sunlight fills the kitchen, highlighting a stack of pancakes. Charlie rushes into the kitchen, his face lighting up. Pancakes, my favorite. Emma's laughter echoes, filling the air with joy. Mine too, Emma exclaims, her voice bubbling with delight. Sunlight floods the kitchen, illuminating the air as Mom smiles warmly. Her voice fills the room with love. I know. That's why I made them. Sunlight floods the dining room, highlighting the gentle dance of dust motes in the air. A family of 4 gathers around the table, their laughter and chatter filling the air. Steam rises from mugs of coffee, carrying the promise of a comforting start to the day. The clatter of cutlery mixes with the murmur of conversation, creating a symphony of domestic bliss. Morning light fills the kitchen as Dad prepares lunches, a silent promise of care. Charlie and Emma sit quietly at the table, savoring the last moments of breakfast before the day begins. Dad's voice breaks the silence with a gentle reminder. Remember, be good at school today. Sunlight bathes the simple room, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Charlie's voice rings with youthful certainty. We will, Dad. In a moment of quiet understanding, Emma responds, Yes, Dad. Charlie and Emma arrive at school, a place of new beginnings. They wave goodbye to their parents, their faces filled with anticipation. Charlie sits at his desk, a picture of utter boredom. Sunlight fills the classroom, highlighting the stillness of the scene. The teacher stands at the blackboard, lost in his explanation. Emma sits at her desk, her brow furrowed in concentration as she sketches in her notebook. A wide smile suddenly lights up Emma's face, lost in her own world. Amidst the cheerful chaos of recess, Charlie plays with his friends. A sudden thwack pierces the air as a ball speeds toward a window. The joyful sounds of recess are abruptly silenced by a shattering crash. A palpable sense of worry hangs in the air. Oh no! Charlie cries out. Charlie's laughter is cut short as his friends scatter, leaving him isolated on the vibrant playground. He stands alone, the echoes of laughter replaced by the stark reality of shattered glass. Sunlight glints off the broken window, a harsh reminder of his solitude. Emma, brow furrowed, is absorbed in her drawing, bringing it closer to completion. A small smile graces Emma's lips as she adds the final touches. With delicate care, Emma lifts her drawing, ready to present her work. Emma walks towards her teacher's desk, her artwork held gently in her hands. Sunlight floods the classroom, illuminating dust motes as Emma stands proudly by her drawing. The teacher beams, That's a beautiful picture, Emma. Charlie stands alone on the playground, his posture reflecting deep unease. His face is etched with guilt and worry as he nervously glances toward the street. The school bell rings, signaling the end of the day, as Mom and Dad arrive to pick up Charlie and Emma. Charlie and Emma rush out, their faces lighting up as they spot their parents waiting. The family reunites, their laughter echoing as they walk towards the car. A profound silence fills the unknown space. Charlie's voice breaks the stillness. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Sunlight floods the doorway as a mother greets her child with a gentle smile. Hi, sweetie. How was school? She asks, her voice filled with warmth and affection. Silence fills the air. Charlie hesitates, then speaks softly. It was okay. Emma sprints towards her parents, her face beaming with excitement. A child's voice echoes with joy. Emma exclaims, I drew a beautiful picture, Mom. The teacher loved it. The car speeds along the road, a metal cocoon carrying unspoken tension. Charlie stares out the window, his expression unreadable, his silence amplifying the unease. Emma's voice fills the car, a stark contrast to the heavy silence. Oh, and guess what happened at Sarah's party? You won't believe it. Dad looks at Charlie, his face a mask of concern. Dad asks with palpable worry, Is everything all right, Charlie? Charlie shakes his head, weariness etched deeply into his face. Yeah, I'm just tired. The living room glows warmly under the soft lamplight, where a family gathers. Charlie avoids eye contact, his gaze fixed on the floor. Sunlight floods the kitchen as Mom stands at the counter, preparing a meal. Charlie enters, backpack slung casually over his shoulder. Mom turns, asking warmly, "Did anything interesting happen at school today?" A faint sound of mumbling fills the air. Charlie's voice breaks the silence. "Not really." Sunlight streams into the principal's office, highlighting the stern face of authority behind a polished desk. Across from him, Charlie shifts nervously, his eyes betraying his anxiety. The principal stands, his stern figure casting a long shadow over Charlie. The principal's voice cuts through the silence. "Someone saw you break the window, Charlie. It's important to be honest." The air crackles with unspoken tension as Charlie faces the accusation. In the heart of the living room, Charlie stands still, his posture reflecting the heavy burden of guilt. His gaze sweeps across the familiar space, lingering on the worn sofa and the family photos adorning the mantelpiece. A knot tightens in his stomach as he steels himself, preparing to confront his parents. Charlie stands awkwardly before his parents, the air thick with unspoken tension. He hesitates, then speaks softly. "Mom, Dad, can I talk to you about something?" A concerned mom looks on, her expression a mix of worry and anticipation. She gently asks, "Of course, sweetie. What is it?" Sunlight floods the living room, revealing Charlie standing in awkward silence. He avoids eye contact, his gaze fixed on a loose thread on the rug. He confesses, "I broke the window, and I didn't tell you." In a moment of raw vulnerability, Charlie stands, tears threatening to spill as unspoken fears consume them. With trembling voice, Charlie confesses, "I broke a window at school, and I was scared to tell you." Sunlight floods the living room through the broken window as Charlie stands silently, avoiding eye contact. His dad kneels, meeting Charlie's gaze with gentle reassurance. "It's okay, Charlie. We're not angry that you broke the window. We're disappointed that you didn't tell us." A mother gazes at her son, her face a portrait of tenderness and sincerity. She gently imparts, "Honesty is very important, Charlie. It's always better to tell the truth, even when it's hard." Charlie stands awkwardly before his parents, the air thick with unspoken tension. He finally breaks the silence, his voice barely a whisper. "I'm sorry." Charlie stands before his parents, head hung low with remorse. His voice barely a whisper. Charlie says, "I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I won't lie to you again." Dad embraces Charlie, a silent promise of support. Dad's voice, filled with unwavering belief, echoes, "We know you won't, son. We trust you." Mom embraces Charlie, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "We love you, Charlie, and we're proud of you for telling us the truth." The kitchen buzzes with the gentle chaos of family, their movements a familiar dance under the soft glow. Warm light bathes the scene, mingling with the comforting scent of soap and the lingering aroma of dinner. Emma looks at Charlie with a soft expression. "It's good you told the truth, Charlie." Charlie smiles gently, relief washing over their face. Charlie says softly, "Yeah, it feels much better." Under the stark morning sun, Charlie and his dad face the principal, shadows stretching long behind them. The gravity of the situation hangs heavy as they gesture towards a shattered window, the school looming behind. A stern-faced Dad sits across from the principal. A broken window looms behind them. Charlie stands beside his dad, looking down, filled with regret. Dad speaks with resolve. Charlie wants to take responsibility for his actions. Well, pay for the window. The principal leans back, a thoughtful expression settling on his face. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating the dust motes. "That's very commendable, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I appreciate your honesty and Charlie's willingness to take responsibility." Charlie assists the school janitor with repairing the window. A janitor stands, mop in hand, confronting Charlie with unexpected wisdom. The janitor speaks, "You know, it takes a lot of courage to admit when you've done something wrong." Sunlight fills a simple room. Charlie speaks, "Yeah, I learned that." Emma stands before her classmates, her face glowing with pride as she presents her drawing. The classmates gather around Emma, their eyes widening in admiration at her artwork. Sunlight bathes the classroom as Charlie sits attentively, his gaze fixed on the teacher, eager to engage. Charlie raises his hand, ready to share his thoughts. Golden sunlight bathes the suburban lawn as a family's laughter echoes through the tranquil evening. Children dart between trees, their parents playfully chasing behind. The parents are chasing behind, their laughter mingling with the children's shrieks of joy. Sunlight fills the kitchen as Mom prepares lunches, a beacon of morning warmth. Charlie and Emma sit quietly at the table, their faces reflecting the gentle morning light. Mom turns, her voice filled with gentle wisdom. Remember, honesty is always the best policy. The father sits, listening intently, nodding with understanding. He emphasizes his point. That's right. It's important to be truthful and responsible. A hopeful promise echoes in the air. We will, Mom and Dad. The air is light, filled with the promise of adventure. Emma exclaims with determination. Yes, we will. In the dim, Charlie sits on the bed, beginning his nightly ritual. What a day, huh? Charlie says, his voice soft in the quiet room. Emma stands at the dresser, her hairbrush moving rhythmically as she replies, Tell me about it. I'm exhausted. Charlie stands before Emma. A moment of truth hangs in the air. With a sigh of relief, Charlie declares, I'm glad I told Mom and Dad the truth. Emma nods, a small smile gracing her lips. Me too. It's always better to be honest. Soft light fills the room as Mom and Dad enter, their presence a gentle promise of comfort. They approach Charlie and Emma, who are quietly nestled in their beds, their faces soft with sleep. Mom approaches Charlie, her eyes sparkling with affection. We're so proud of you, Charlie, Mom whispers, her voice filled with love. Dad leans down, a warm smile gracing his face. He gently kisses Emma on the forehead. And we love you both very much, Dad whispers. In the quiet of the bedroom, Charlie and Emma lie in peaceful slumber, their faces softened by the gentle glow of the bedside lamp. A sense of deep contentment radiates from them as they sleep soundly, wrapped in each other's presence. The sun ascends, bathing the tranquil suburban street in a golden light. Shadows waltz within the humble house as the family awakens, prepared to meet the day. A palpable sense of unity and resolve fills the air. Sunlight bathes the cozy kitchen as Mom stands at the stove. Dad sits at the kitchen table, deeply engrossed in the morning news. Charlie and Emma burst into the room, the morning air charged with youthful energy. Morning light fills the kitchen as Charlie approaches the table. He sees a stack of golden pancakes. Pancakes again! Emma's elation shatters the silence with a jubilant cry. Yay! Sunlight bathes the cozy kitchen as Mom stands at the counter. Mom smiles warmly, her eyes filled with love as she says, You know I love making them for you. The dining room is filled with the warmth of family, their faces glowing with happiness. Laughter dances in the air, mingling with the comforting sounds of morning chatter. A symphony of voices rises as the family shares stories and dreams over breakfast. Morning light fills the kitchen as Dad prepares lunches, dust motes dancing in the sun's rays. Charlie and Emma sit quietly at the table, backpacks ready for the day ahead. Dad turns, offering a gentle reminder. Have a great day at school. And remember to always be honest. Silence hangs heavy in the air. Charlie breaks the silence. We will, Dad. Emma nods, a determined glint in her eyes as she affirms, Yes, Dad.